All right, it's 9/11, 2001, right? Then people tried to play games with us. They came, hit the towers. I was a young little whippersnapper. Things were going on, okay? America was not happy, all right? We don't play them type of games. We got hostile, we got motion, all right? And don't get me wrong, George W. Bush really wasn't my little favorite, but, you know, it's kind of like being a part of, you know, a group. It's like, yeah, I may not like people in the group, but if you try to do something to the group, then all the group gonna have to jump you, right? Like, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And that's kind of what happened when it came down to 9/11, right? So we got attacked everywhere. If you weren't there, it was crazy. Like, that day was insane, okay? Now, the thing about it is that after that, you know, we had President Bush come out, and he said a speech. And in that speech, he said, we will rock you. Okay, he literally said, rock 'em, sock 'em. He said, knuck if you buck, here we come. There we go. Don't stop. Anyway, right? All this to be able to say he declared war. Now, the thing about the balance of powers is the fact that presidents cannot declare war. Congress is the ones that declare war, and the reason why they declare war is because they have the power of the purse. But this was a situation where we had no other choice, right? Like, we couldn't just eat that. We couldn't eat that L. We had to go ahead and come to blows, come to fisticuffs, and we needed to go to Afghanistan. Somehow, one thing led to another. We ended up in Iraq. Now, all of us were looking around like, this is peculiar. I thought they said something about what was his name? Osama, yeah. But didn't y'all say that he was back there out in Afghanistan? Okay. So we were trying to figure out, how did we end up over here in Iraq? But I thought we were supposed to be in Afghanistan, but we were supposed to be in Iraq, but where are we supposed to be at, right? So then there was a lot of confusion about where people was, what we were supposed to do in X, Y, and Z. And as the years progressed, then we started hearing things about weapons of mass destruction. And now we was out trying to go ahead and rein in good old Saddam. And everybody's like, Saddam? Who is Saddam? Right? Like, we were trying to figure out what was going on. Now, the crazy part is that our news was showing military personnel doing unscrupulous stuff over there to civilians, okay? Now, at the time, once again, America was in a space to where we was really just out for vengeance, okay? Like, so there really didn't need to be an announcement that, you know, war is expensive, things finna get tight. We didn't care about none of that. We said, run it up, okay? And as time progressed, we was like, hold on, wait, we need to run this down because there's a lot of things that's going on over here in America. Things getting expensive. Housing markets is crashing. Things is one thing leading to another. And we just kept being told, you know, weapons of mass destruction. Once again, they ain't found nothing. And so we like, but what's going on? What's going on? Now, go ahead and fast forward. The only person we end up getting is Saddam. Saddam ain't who we was out trying to get. We was trying to get Bin Laden. Okay? Somehow we end up with Saddam. And for those that, once again, aren't old enough, y'all, we executed him on television. Yeah, we did. Real circa 1800s type stuff. Okay? And so by the time the George W. Bush administration wraps up, right? And now we're starting to, we're revving up for the new election. You have our good brother, Uncle Obama, my president. Hey, sir. He was running for his first term. But also during that same time, the world's legal team was in a bit of an uproar. Okay? Now you have the ICC, which is the International Criminal Court, and a lot of other people, other international legal organizations that were filing lawsuits against the Bush administration for what? War crimes. Yes, it is that a lot of countries, right, all signed the Geneva Convention. And the Geneva Convention is basically an agreement to terms when it comes down to war. And one of those things that we agreed to was not to torture. Now, I don't have to tell you that we was out here torturing. Guantanamo? If the walls could talk, okay? If the walls could talk. Which part of the reason why it was shut down, okay? Because we was out here doing crazy stuff. Also known as Gitmo, right? That's the same Gitmo that President Trump is trying to fly them people to right now. They reopened it just so that they can do more crimes. Anyway, I digress. And so prosecution all over the place, right? Now, Tori, like, why is this important? It's important because you have to understand that although we are an independent country, we still exist within the context of the broader world society. And so when it comes down to the things that are happening in this current administration, I want to reassure you that prosecution, though delayed, is not denied. And there's a lot of war crimes crimes rather, no war, just crimes, that the current administration has allegedly been committing. Very similar to the first term of this president, a lot of the people around him get caught first. That whole first cabinet ain't nobody in that first cabinet free. Everybody has been hit, all the way down to Giuliani. Giuliani ain't even got no car. He ain't got no money. He ain't got nothing, okay? And that's what happens when you follow the antics of this particular leader. So now we fast forward. Last night, Texas, I would like to be able to say, congratulations. You did your big one. The 1st district and the 6th district, very, very red. Extremely red. And so we have to put in context the loss, because as I said in one of my other videos, we're not trying to fight something to completion. We're fighting for progress, because this is an ongoing work. What those election results revealed and the closeness in the race revealed is that there is a swaying of opinions. From how the voting went in November to now, there is a swaying of opinions regarding who should be leading this country in the legislative branch. And so the win for Florida was going to be a far reach to begin with. But once again, progress. Because progress are like atoms. When you put enough progress together, they start to make molecules. And then when you have enough molecules, you begin to get solid objects. And that's what you want to be able to have. More importantly, Wisconsin, cheeseheads. Y'all did y'all big one. Y'all said, no. Fool us once, shame on us. Shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on us. Y'all went ahead and got good sense into the Supreme Court. Why is this important? Because lawsuits and prosecution. I find it very odd that a lot of people that surround themselves and place themselves in agreement with President Trump do not take into consideration the fact that in the next 2 to 3, 4 years tops, the law will be knocking on your door. This is something that Elon Musk gets to experience a lot sooner than later. Because luckily for Wisconsin, there's a criminal case for that guy for what he was trying to do in Wisconsin. And this is why I love politics, because the story of it is so interesting and it informs the future. And it is my hope that you understand that even though consequences are delayed, consequences are not always averted. And so congratulations to Wisconsin, and even congratulations to Florida. Can't wait to see these legal proceedings in the next couple